Welcome everyone to the Dez Bros Show. This is MJ, I'm Drew, and we'd like to talk about the latest news of pulp culture, sports, and conspiracies.
And as always, follow us on our YouTube channel. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's been over a week since we recorded, so I don't know if our algorithm's off. So if you can't type in the search bar up above, we don't come up. Go on Instagram, follow us on Instagram, look on our Instagram bio and click on the link and it'll shoot you straight to our YouTube channel. Again, comment, like, subscribe, and we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, so last week, 2 weeks ago actually, I want to talk about the latest news that came out for Brand New Day of Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And I guess what they're going to be finally doing is finally releasing the Sinister Six. Now, we kind of did get them in the last one, Far From Home, or no.
In a way we did. Yeah.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
In No Way Home, we kind of had got them because we had Doc Ock, we had Electro, and we had Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
The only two that weren't necessarily part of the Sinister Six are in different variations of the Sinister Six, or let it be Sinister 7 or Sinister 12. There's so many different kinds of Sinisters. But as for, like, Lizard Man and Green Goblin, they are not part of the original Sinister Six. So I just mentioned three of them. You know, Electro, Doc Ock, Sandman. The other three members of the original Sinister Six is Kraven the Hunter, Vulture, and Mysterio. So those are that's the original Sinister Six. However, in Brand New Day, they're kind of switching up a bit. And from what I heard about Brand New Day is they're going to be releasing Tombstone, Scorpion, Tarantula, Boomerang, Mr. Negative, and Wraith. Now, me personally, I'm familiar with Mr. Negative because of the Spider-Man game, being part of the Sinister Six, as well as Scorpion. You know, they're actually in the game. They are part of the Sinister Six that they introduced in the Spider-Man game for the PS4. Now, as for Tombstone, I believe he's in one of the many variations, as well as Tarantula and Boomerang. I believe they are part of different variations, but one I'm not familiar with is Wraith. Now, Wraith is actually an anti-hero. She's a vigilante. Her real alias is Yuri, I believe Yuri Watanabe, and hopefully I didn't butcher that name. But she's a police chief of New York. And what happens to her is she decides to put the law into her own hands because she sees that as a police chief she can't really do what she wants to do in taking on the bad guys. So she becomes a vigilante. Now, the reason why a lot of people are speculating that Wraith might be part of the Sinister Six or might even be in the movie is supposedly they found her suit or similar to her suit in production during the production backgrounds. So Wraith is going to be in there, which is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see that. If anything, if Wraith is part of the Sinister Six, she's probably going to be like, the hidden mole, and then like people go, oh man, she's a bad guy, and then it turns out she's actually a good guy. They're probably going to do that. So it's like, I don't know. I saw that lineup, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm for it. It looks like an interesting lineup for Spider-Man, especially with Mr. Negative. He's like an awesome powerhouse villain. So
Okay, all right.
It's going to be cool to see that.
Cool. Yeah, now, man, I didn't even ask you how you've been or what we've been up to, man. Now, as far as me, I don't know if you can notice the little deep voice kind of going on. All week I've had this weird, I don't even call it a sore throat. It's like itchy and dry.
Yeah.
It's weird. So it doesn't hurt, but it's irritating. It's very irritating. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, what is that new COVID variant? Razor neck, or what is it called? Razor throat?
I don't know.
What it's called, dude. But I don't know. Maybe I have that. I don't freaking know, dude. My immunity sucks because I don't sleep good. I don't sleep right.
Well, the thing is too, it could just be hay fever as well.
Hay fever. I don't mean all week. I don't feel sick. That's the thing. It's just my throat.
Okay.
And today my voice finally came to like a deep sounding, just very irritated. It's more irritated than anything now.
Okay.
It's weird. It's bizarre. Giants, they've been on a losing streak. It's crazy, man. So last week, Father's Day, they got Devers, Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox, and that was a big splash trade. Guy's a hell of a hitter, and he's one of the best home run kings out there as of now in this day and age. It's weird that the moment we got him, we haven't really been winning. We've only won 2 games since we got him.
Okay.
Not saying it's his fault, but I find it kind of weird. Like, what is, I don't know. I don't like it. It's weird. It's really, really weird.
Because you actually,
the guy's hitting home runs.
Okay, there you go.
The
Like,
guy's
that's what I'm
hitting.
saying.
He's
How is he
contributing.
doing?
No,
Exactly.
he's contributing. It's the rest of the team. I don't know, man. Maybe I think the All-Star break's coming up pretty soon, so hopefully, Posey makes another big splash move. Maybe another pitcher, which I think we need.
Okay.
Maybe another hitter. I wouldn't mind another hitter. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's kind of somber. It's bizarre that we got this big time player, this big name, and we've only won 2 games since we got him. Like I said, I'm not starting conspiracy theory, or I'm not saying it's his fault. The guy's contributing.
Yeah.
It's just we haven't found our groove, man. I don't know what it is. We didn't lose anybody for this trade spectacular that's causing this.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's just really, really, really weird that we haven't found our footing. Like right now it's 5:24 and we just scored, so it's 1-1 against the White Sox. Hopefully we win, because the damn who was it? They just swept us. I can't even remember because I was so pissed. Let me look. Sorry guys, I sound so somber. Maybe I am. Well, I am exhausted, but maybe I am feeling sick. Who knows, dude? I know my wife's gonna be freaking out. Stay away from us. Oh, the Marlins, the damn Marlins, dude. The Marlins not even a good team. So
how do you think I feel? I'm sitting right next to you.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, dude, I'm just more tired than anything. Think about it. I come home, I don't take a nap.
Yeah.
God, Lord willing, man. Lord Jesus bless me. I'm gonna start a new position next Monday, next week.
Mm-hmm.
So really hope and pray that all that goes good for me. I won't be doing physical activity no more. I'll be sitting behind a desk, writing orders and stuff, like just writing orders, so I get to dress like this, I won't be getting dirty no more. I won't be breaking my fingers, my toes, my feet, breaking my ankles, and I won't be in physical pain no more, man, which is good. I'm going to be 35 pretty soon, so cholesterol's up. It sucks, man. I finally did blood work, man. I've been trying to dodge blood work for years, dude. I had a doctor who was hounding me when I was like 28, 29. Before that, dude, and he was like, my old doctor was hounding me to get blood work done, and he even wrote the script and everything. I never did it. I never got it done. Now I'm almost 35, and certain things aren't feeling good, man, and in my body. And so I was like, I got to get myself checked, man, especially, I want to be here for a long time for my son. So, yeah, I got my blood work done. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. No diabetes, no cancer, the big scary ones. Just cholesterol, high cholesterol. So it sucks because now I got to watch what I eat. Before I never had to worry about that, man. Yeah. But I think I mentioned this like one of our first shows that I'm not feeling right.
Yeah.
Something's not feeling right. Yeah, it's high cholesterol. I got to change my diet. No more fried foods. Easy with the sugar. And it sucks, man. It's kind of a downer,
Yeah.
I love my sugar, man, my sweets. I love my fried foods. And if I want to be here for a long time, I got to regulate that,
you got to cut that down a bit.
I got to cut that down, man, and eat a little bit healthier than usual. So, yeah, that's life right now, man. Good and bad. Good is getting a new position in my job, higher paying position, which is awesome. The bad is it's more responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. You were just talking about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And my cholesterol's high.
Man.
And Giants are on. Who knows where they're at, man? Who knows where they're gonna be? They're 1-1 right now. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, man. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Well, it's interesting to see about cholesterol, because I actually had blood work done too. Because you made me think about that.
Right.
Because you're talking about blood work.
Yeah, because you're past 30, man.
Yeah.
This should have been done before we were 30.
Yeah. So I did blood work, and my doctor said everything's great, man. He's all, your kidney looks great. Your
well, yeah, you don't abuse your body like I did, dude. For years, I drank nothing but Monsters and Rockstars, so that didn't help any. All that damn sugar.
I only drunk Monster, probably 1 or 2 Monsters in my life,
right?
Literally, and that was when I was like my senior year in high school. Because I'm like, you know what, I'm graduating. I want to try something.
Let me try something new.
Like I always hear that you're not supposed to take energy drinks, even from back in the day when they started releasing Monsters and Rockstars. When they released all those things, they've told you like you shouldn't be using this. You shouldn't be drinking this. And I'm like, I'll try it once. And hey, I tried it and I almost got addicted. I was like, I after my second one, I was like, I prayed for a third one. Like, I want to say,
they're
like,
good, man.
a couple months
delicious.
later. They are. They really are. They're addicting.
It gets to a point too where, what's the word I'm looking for, man? Where you don't, what's the word I'm looking for? You gain a tolerance.
Yeah.
Before you first drink them, you get this burst of energy, and man, oh whoa, opens your eyes and everything, and then after a while drinking them, it just becomes more of a soda. Like you just want it for flavor, and that's how it was for me. I just love the taste and I love the flavor of these drinks, these awesome drinks, and I still crave them. Don't get me wrong. It's funny, man. I stopped drinking soda for 2 months. I don't crave soda, but I'm starting to crave energy drinks right now, man.
And that's the thing too. I remember the reason why I took an energy drink in the first place was because of Grand Night. You know, you'd be up all night.
You need a little boost.
You need that boost, so I had it.
I'd rather choose that than freaking pills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Some kind of drug.
And it did. It gave me the like you said, it gave me the boost, gave me the energy to go throughout the whole night because I've been awake from 7 in the morning and then all the way the bus ride all the way there. You're still awake because you're talking, you're joking around, you're having fun with the
yeah, man, having fun with the guys.
And then you get there you're there at the Six Flags after we went to. With the Six Flags, and you're there from most of the night, dude. The whole night. So yeah, no, I needed that boost. I really did.
I remember some dude in high school, man. He was kind of off the wall kind of guy, and he took a pill. I don't know what he took, but he was hyped up in the bus. He was hyped off when we got off the bus. He was hyped up for the first couple minutes in Disneyland. Now what happened was when you show up, we were one of the first schools that showed up. There was different schools that were there. I don't know if that's how for you when you were grad night.
We just walked in.
No. Was there different schools there?
There's different schools there. Oh yeah, for sure.
So we got there kind of early, so they had all the rides kind of blocked off. You know, they had the thing, the ribbon or whatever you want to call it, and we were standing there. I was kind of a ways away. He wasn't part of my little clique. You know, I had my own clique, and they opened the gates, dude, and everybody just goes running. This fool falls. And he jumps up, dude. He tumbles, he falls, he jumps up, and dude, that was his crash. He was damn, that was my crash. Dude, he was gone the rest of the day. He was out, man. He was just exhausted and he felt like crap. Dude, that fall, that roll, and that jump up, he just boom. That was it, dude. That was his pill. His pill went to that, dude. That was the last burst of energy. He wasted it on that. First ride, man. he was gone. And it was, I don't know, that was freaking hilarious. I always live with that story because it was funny, dude. You just see him go down, tumble, jump back up like it was a cartoon character, and then he was gone, dude. That was it. That was his crash.
That sucks.
Yeah, man.
That super sucks, man.
Change the pace a bit, man. One topic I want to talk about, I want to bring up. Have you heard of the most intelligent man in the world right now, as of now, world's highest IQ, right? This gentleman has an IQ of, let me see, man, of 276.
Okay.
He's from South Korea. His name is Young Hoon Kim. He's a South Korean scientist, as a matter of fact. So the guy's a genius.
All right.
He's publicly claimed that he believes in Jesus Christ. You know, a lot of scientists, they don't.
Yeah.
You know, they believe in science.
They believe in science, and they try to find all these things to debunk.
To debunk Jesus, to debunk Christ, to debunk God, and to debunk the Bible, and this guy, no, and he has the highest IQ, and he's come out and said that he believes there was a God, there is a God, and Jesus Christ. You know, so he based his let me see, yeah, he claims, he says that he will use his intelligence and the opportunity to lead many souls to God, and that Christ is his logic. You know.
Okay.
And it's interesting because within the Catholic faith, a lot of people believe that, oh, you believe in God, you don't believe in science. That's not true. We do believe in science.
Yeah,
obviously, there is science in this world. You know, God gave us life. God gave us breath. God gave us this world. God gave us science.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a science behind everything, Even the Big Bang, that's considered a science. You know, God created it. There's a science behind that. There's neutrons, particles, protons, whatever you want to call it, atoms.
Yeah, well,
God created all that.
Well,
man.
It's also the whole thing that supposedly, they talk about how the Big Bang started by a bunch of pressure.
Uh-huh.
And you could be simplistically easily say that. Well, how do you not know that God just didn't go like this and then expand?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's
closed his hands and then expanded his hands, and he made the everything.
Yeah, even the scientists of. Nowadays, they try to do they have that hydrogen collider in Switzerland.
I don't trust that thing at all.
CERN.
Yeah.
They claim, and they probably do use it for that, to find the God particle.
Oh, okay.
To find the Big Bang.
Yeah.
And they smashed atoms or whatever. That's what this thing does. But There's a lot of conspiracies as to what they're actually doing.
Yeah,
We could go on to days for that.
Yeah.
You know, are they trying to look for soul? Are they trying to look for demons? Are they trying to look for aliens? Are they opening up portals, dimensions, interdimensional beings,
other galaxies, and
you know?
or other.
I mean,
just dimensions.
what are the odds that they have Shiva, the god of destroyers, the world destroyer of destruction, as their icon in front of their building? What are the odds, man? Like,
yeah,
they could have put any statue, Kratos, Zeus, whatever you name it, man.
Kratos, dude, that's God of War, bro.
You know, dude.
I mean, there's the Kratos of mythology, but not the kind of Kratos that
I'm
we
just
all
giving
know.
examples, dog. Like, they use Shiva, the destroyer of worlds.
You can have the guy with the pickles.
I don't freaking know, dude. They could put freaking Muhammad Ali in the front. I don't know, dude. Like, maybe they could have put God's hands or something, you know, holding the world, something more iconic.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
They got Shiva, the destroyer of worlds, as their statue. Matter of fact, Google it, man. Look it up for those who don't know. See if you could Google it real quick, man. Give it a good old Google. Yeah, it's just bizarre that they chose that as their mascot, that their statue in front of the CERN building. So this is what's in front. Let's see if we can zoom in here. You can show the audience here. This is off of Reddit. Bam, show that. That is Shiva, the god of destruction. That is what's in front of CERN. I mean, it looks demonic, for God's sakes. Isn't that crazy?
That's trippy.
That's a trip, man. You can't make this up. That isn't conspiracy. That is real. So take with what you want, ladies and gentlemen out there, whether you believe in God or not, deities or whatever. That's there, and there's a reason why it's there. So anyway, back to the science and God and everything. There's even Catholic theologians out there that use science. You know, there's Catholic scientists. In Arizona, there's a giant telescope that is looking into the sky at the cosmos. Why? There's many conspiracies with that as well. We could go down many rabbit holes. Is the Vatican trying to look for life outside of Earth? Maybe. Physical, not interdimensional. I'm talking physical beings.
Well, there's also the whole ideology that's supposedly weird, because I guess galaxies could also be considered as dimensions themselves.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the reasons too is one conspiracy I think I heard one time is that they're actually looking for like a dimension that could be heaven, in a sense.
Interesting. Where all souls go.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, like in one of our shows we mentioned how there's a battle between good and evil, obviously, and that the evil is after our souls, right? The devil, the demons are after our souls. God wants us to go to heaven. Our souls belong to him. That's where our souls should go. Mm-hmm. Unless you go to purgatory like me, you're gonna ask it. That's so stupid. God, I hope I don't go there, but most likely that's where I'm gonna go. Man, I don't know, man. But I'm getting off topic here. You know, and there's you know, we're a physical body. We're a capsule that's holding this priceless thing, this soul. Mm. You know, and how do we know that these interdimensional beings, they're probably after this priceless thing? This is more important than gold, more food, more water. No, it's priceless. This is something so powerful that they're after. Why they're after it, who knows? Who knows? It's very interesting, man. Like I said, we could go down many rabbit holes, and I find that a very interesting theory that these things are after our soul.
Well, yeah, and then there's a lot of
they're soul collectors.
Yes, and there's a lot of other stories of different let it be interdimensional beings, let it be spirits, let it be all witches, all that stuff. It always has to do with something with the soul. Always something to do with the soul.
Exactly. And even like, you know, not to toot our own horn, isn't it kind of odd that witches, evil people out there, they go after the Catholic Church?
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there's other Catholic faiths, non-denominational, whatever, where they go after. Like not too long ago, we just had some psycho go to a non-denominational church, a Protestant church, and try to shoot it up. Mm-hmm. Remember that?
Yeah.
So there's attacks, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the spiritual, witches, whatever out there, they're after the Eucharist.
Oh yeah.
The Holy Eucharist. What people want to claim is just a piece of wafer or whatever. It's more than that. I'm just gonna spit game real quick. The priests are there to consecrate the host,
Yeah.
the Eucharist. It is a wafer. Starts off as a wafer. They bless it. They get a blessing from Jesus himself. He gives the blessing, blesses the bread, blesses the host.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes God's flesh. It becomes the holy flesh. The Holy Eucharist becomes Jesus. We consume that. Now we have Jesus in us, And it's tradition. It's what we believe, and it's what's in the Bible, for God's sakes. John chapter 6. Read it. It's there. Jesus doesn't say, take my figurative body, take my figurative blood, right?
No.
He's saying, this is my body, this is my blood, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't say, this is because that's what people want to claim, that who aren't Catholic. They say that, oh, that's just what's the word I'm looking for? Not figure. There's another word I'm looking for that I can't think of right now. That's just what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of it too, but you could.
Figurative. Let's use figurative, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I can't think of the actual word for it.
He's literally, though. He's being literal.
He's being literal that's his body, that's his blood, and we must consume it.
Yeah.
So they do it. So Peter becomes the first pope. He continues that tradition, the body, the blood of Christ. And that continues to this day, which we consume, because Christ in the Bible, this is my body, this is my blood, you must take, you must take part of it. So we do that every Sunday.
Yeah.
That's where it is. That's what it is, guys. And again, he doesn't say this is the figurative body. This is this bread right here represents my body. This wine represents my blood. Drink it and be merry. No. He said, this is my...
So you're saying symbolic?
Symbolic.
Is that what you're trying
Thank
to get?
you,
Symbolic.
my man.
Symbolic.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
what
you.
you're thinking. Symbolic.
Yeah, the word is, he's not saying this is the symbolic body,
you go.
the symbolic blood. He doesn't say that, does he? No. In the Bible, it doesn't use the word symbolic or figurative, whatever you want to use. He says, this is my body, this is my blood.
He means it.
He means it.
Yeah.
He consecrated it. He blessed it. It became his body, became his blood. Even on just recently on Ninjas and Butterflies, they talked about my voice cracked. They talked about how, I forgot where it's at, where they did it.
Oh,
I think it's in Argentina.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That they actually somebody dropped the Eucharist, the Holy Eucharist. Usually you pick it up, you're supposed to eat it. You don't just throw it away, because a witch or somebody evil will grab it, take it, and do ugly things to it.
Yes.
That's exactly what we were talking about. Witches or whatever out there, they're always after the Holy Eucharist. Mm-hmm. So they could do whatever to it, cast spells or do disgusting things to it. So somebody dropped it, they picked it up. The priest threw it in water, right? Or holy water, right?
Yes.
How does the story go?
I believe he put it in holy water, I believe. Mm-hmm. Or he put it in, was it the wine? It was
wine. I don't know what it was. Well, anyway,
water. I believe it was the water.
It was water. So he puts it in there. After a few days or so, it starts turning red like blood.
Yes, it was the water. It was water.
He put it in water.
He put it in water.
It started turning red like blood, and after a while, it started turning into flesh.
Yeah, like
literal flesh.
Yeah,
a piece of meat was sitting in that cup.
Yeah.
Talk about phenomenon. It
kind of looked like a small tissue of a muscle.
There you go. Thank you. Of a heart. Yeah. So
that's what it was.
There we go. I'm putting it all together. I'm waking up. They took it out. The scientists they studied it. They examined it, and they found out that literally it was a vessel from a heart, a piece of vessel from a heart.
There you go.
You can't make this up, man. It's a blessing. It's something holy. It's a holy phenomenon,
Yeah.
Look it up, everybody out there. Do your research. Look this up. I believe even Pope Francis, because he was the Pope at the time when this happened, he looked at it. He examined it, and they were like, wow, this is a Holy Eucharist, became a vessel, a piece of heart.
Mm-hmm. It became flesh.
It became flesh.
It became flesh.
So do your research out there, guys. Do your research right now. Maybe we explained it the best we can, but do your own research and look it up. It's never been debunked too, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man. I mean, back to the guy with the highest IQ. Guy's a scientist. He believes in Jesus Christ, and Yeah, man, do your own research. Look this guy up again. His name is that way you guys can look him up out there. Young Hoon Kim from South Korea. Okay.
Okay.
And that's all I got on that, guys. I don't know what else.
Well, did you have another topic you want to talk about?
I
at
did.
all?
Didn't you have one or no?
Yeah, I got one more.
Go for it, man.
Okay, cool. So here's another one. It just happened. I was just scrolling around looking for it, and this thing caught my attention. In which, I guess in 2015 they found like mummified bodies that did not look human.
Okay.
They had 3 fingers and 3 toes.
Where was this at? That
Peru.
they found it? Peru.
Peru.
Okay, dude. I
Okay.
got a good segue with Peru, my man.
So, Peru, what happened was that they found these mummified bodies, and, you know, the years go by,
Okay.
and they finally actually started looking at them. And, of course, you know, the skeptics.
This isn't the ones where they look real.
No.
These are different.
This is
Okay.
a different one. I'll show you a picture of it.
Okay,
I'll
see?
show you a picture
Okay.
of it. Now, you do have those, of course. You do have those.
Which are bizarre too, because some sources say that they debunked it, that they're not real, and then some say that they are real. So it's kind of up. Those are still kind of up in the air. They look funny though.
They do look funny. So
they look bizarre.
So what happened
They're
with
funny.
those? The story about those.
Okay.
Is that I'm not gonna show you the pictures. I'm just talking right now about the stuff. So what happened was those small
I
ones.
took a peek.
Yeah, you
All right.
took a peek. You saw what I was gonna
Yeah.
show you. So they saw these the bodies, and I guess at first they're like, oh, they're just made of like clay and metal. Well, then they actually did X-ray CIT scans, and they found it was made of bone. Well, then of course again they tried to debunk it, saying, oh, they're made of animal bones,
Yeah,
chicken
yeah,
bones, and dog
yeah.
bones. Like they just put all this stuff together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, and again, these were found. This was found the same time. Come on, get up. There you go.
Oh, excuse me. Whoa.
So you got that.
What the helly?
Let me get a picture like that right there. See that?
Damn. What the Halliburton?
Yeah. And there's like, I'm gonna show you another one.
What the Halle Berry?
Yeah. And okay, so I'll show you that one later.
Yeah.
So that's how they look.
Whoa.
All right. Now, of course, you know, they also say that, you know, these right here could be what they call the star people.
Okay.
Now, there is another image, and I forgot to get that picture, but you could look it up yourself. They actually have a better index on the fingers, and you could literally see the thumbprints on them.
Oh, damn.
On this
I mean,
one.
look how long those fingers are, man.
Yes. So, of course, you know, again, debunction. Look at the head. Like, if you look at the size, if you look at the side of the head, how it looks, they're like, oh, this could just be a person. And the reason why they say the person is because, you know,
They're saying like a deformed person or somebody with a disability, right? That's usually the go-to.
basically, and but also
for debunkers.
And then like to fully, because most likely they thought that they had a body of a god, so they kind of morphed the head to look more.
Yeah. Well, there's
like the
some. I
gods.
think in some African countries, right? Some tribes they when the babies are born, they kind of morph their head. It makes you think, why do they do that?
So they could, yeah, and then,
So they
and
could look like an alien being. Like I don't know,
well,
man.
their
There's
thing is
that-
that they look like the gods. Like that's how the gods look.
there you go.
That's their whole thing.
Right.
Um,
That again is another bizarre phenomenon. I mean, man, it's crazy.
and I guess there's other pictures too that this is how the depictions of the star gods look to them.
Interesting.
So like these are like different artifacts that they found in Peru.
Damn, that's crazy.
Of course, we all know what these are.
The Nazca lines.
Yeah, the Nazca lines. We've all seen these.
Yeah.
And then of
The
course,
3 fingers. There they are.
there they are.
The beings with the 3 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the Nazca lines again.
Yeah, show you.
Show the kind of slow down there. Yeah, those are real famous, by the way.
Yeah.
Those have been unexplained, right? I believe.
Yeah, they were unexplained. And I guess further and further down the line, like, depending if like you're like even if you don't believe in aliens or UFOs, yeah, that's it right there. Even though you don't believe in aliens or UFOs, and the people did make them, supposedly the people themselves, the tribes themselves, made those so they could talk to the star gods.
Yep.
You know,
I heard about
that
that.
was
Yeah,
one of the things.
That's
So
one of the possibilities.
that was one of the possibilities that they said. And you know, like if you want to look it up yourself, I'll show you right here. You know, there's different kinds of, you looking up different ones, and yeah, you can see like C3 finger alien mummies found in Peru. It basically talks about what I told you, how like they try to debunk it. But in this section right here, it's very important. Okay. Read what it says right here. I want you to read that.
All right. A team of 10 Mexican researchers found that 30% of the mummy's DNA is not human, but is rather from an unknown species. Whoa, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah. Yeah, that's bizarre, man.
So
that's unexplainable.
now, of course, that was in 2024 when they started actually doing that stuff. And you gotta think about it. They found these mummies in 2015. And now, like, because technology is getting better and better, they're finally able to do the research they need to do now.
Right.
So they're finding all these different things in these bodies. And one of the things they found in that one particular that I showed you was only 30% human DNA.
Didn't they find some that were like pregnant?
Yes,
supposedly?
they found one with eggs in it, and that's I believe that's one of the smaller ones that they found. But yeah, they found eggs in it, and of course, because the debunction was, they just put, because they said it was
somebody threw.
They were dolls, basically. They say they're dolls, and they put things in there to like
make it look pregnant or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the things they did. So yeah, those are the star people of Peru.
Speaking of those lines, man, not too long ago, I forgot what podcast it was, man, where they were talking about the Nazca lines and other crop circles. How. In the 80s, it was a big thing, because this is what people were trying to, they found them out and stuff. I mean, throughout the centuries, they found them. There's paintings of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, it became a big phenomenon. In the 90s, and then some people, here's the funny part. Some people tried to debunk it and prove it, and they went out there and they did their own crop circles, and they looked okay, but here's the giveaway that it was done by humans on foot. There was trails. There's a starting point. There's a finish point. To where a lot of these, there is no starting point. This looks like it was done from the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was carved by laser. Number one. Number two, a lot of these, there's a lot of documentaries out there that debunk these. Like you have people out there, look what I could do. I could do the same thing. Look at me, but it looks like garbage. Yeah, it does. But it looks like garbage. It looks so matted down and stupid and unprecise that it doesn't match the ones that they can't explain.
Yeah.
The unexplainable ones. Number one, number two, that's number two. Number three, they always find a lot of nuclear waste or radiation.
Yeah, there you go.
They find a lot of radiation. Yeah, they detect, and then not only that, some of the people that walk, say if it's a fresh crop circle, they walk in there, and their skin starts rashing up, or they start feeling sick, or explain that,
like a piece of radiation poisoning.
So
whoa.
Yeah, man, it's weird, it's bizarre, I could use that all night. And speaking of bizarre, Peru, right? Okay. I'm glad you talked about Peru, man, because we're gonna go into Peru. You ever heard of this? You ever heard of the face peelers?
No.
Oh, you ready? All right, man. All right, you guys buckle up your seatbelts, let's go. This is gonna be my last talk of the night. I'm gonna try to tell it the best I can.
Is it okay? So before you tell the story, turn the lights on when you listen to it.
It's not that creepy. It's bizarre, but it's not that. To me, it's not scary because I've been hearing about this for a long time already.
Okay.
But it's come more to light. Timothy Alberino. I've mentioned him in our first podcast.
Okay.
Let me make sure I didn't butcher his name. Timothy Alberino, yeah, look at him. He was on the Sean Ryan show. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Okay, yeah.
He's literally like the modern day Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Christian as well. Very logical. He's like us. He doesn't just be like, this is what it is. He's more like, it could be this, it could be that.
Up in the air.
Yeah,
like
it could.
The Peru aliens. Let's put our hands. They might be mummies or they might be dolls.
Yeah, he's very logical with his theories and what he thinks and what it can't be. And he's like, this is ridiculous. It's not going to be this. It could be this, but it's this, I like him. He's very, very, he has books out there. I might start reading his books. But anywho, he was on the Sean Ryan show and he was talking about the face peelers. And I've heard about this since last year. I believe maybe the ninjas are butterflies. They've talked about it before. They've gotten into it.
Yeah, they talked with him.
They've had him on. But they've had him on there.
Yeah, I actually watched the one. That's where I learned about the mantis people.
Okay.
That I didn't really knew that there was mantis aliens until I heard this guy.
Yeah, listen to I think it was our first show that we talked about it, right?
Yeah,
go back to our first show, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to that as well. This will kind of tie into this episode too. So, anywho, let's go. So, the legend of the face peelers is, it's self-explanatory. There's these beings out there that fly around. So this is in Peru. This is in the Amazon forest.
I think I heard this story.
Okay.
Oh yes, I did hear the story.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Go on.
This is in the Amazon forest, right? It's very remote tribes that live out there. And the story goes that these two, there's usually two of them that fly out there. Sometimes one, sometimes it's two. They're out there on these saucers. Sometimes they just see the saucers.
Hold on. Turn the lights on when you listen to the story. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. You might know more about it than I do. I'm just gonna give you what one of the accounts from a little girl.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I know what the story is.
And then another account from another man.
Okay, I haven't heard that one.
Okay.
Yet, but I heard the little girl. Turn
So
the lights on.
let me just, yeah. Okay, maybe it is scary, especially for the kids out there. If there's kids listening, maybe not listen to this part, and if you do, enjoy. Because when we were kids, we were little psychopaths. We loved this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Turn the lights on the room or watch it during the day.
so these face peelers, right? So the story goes that in 2023 there was a lot of sightings. There's even a video, I don't know if you've seen it,
I don't
where
think I've
somebody
seen
was
it.
recording it at night and they're in the tree. You could see this gray thing, or this black or gray thing, dark. Remember, it's at night like usual, right? Typical. It's actually good footage. Oh no, it wasn't good footage. I'm sorry. The good footage is from I'm thinking of the little girl. There's pictures of the little girl. I don't know if you've seen those pictures.
I think I've seen the
Okay.
pictures.
Let me go back again. This is from the 90s, I believe, or the 80s, where they did, from the 90s, I think, where they recorded it. So again, it's not the best footage. This is not the best footage. They see somebody in the trees. The trees are moving, and you see something, a being or something. You don't see the face, and it's moving around these trees, and the people are freaking out, dude. And then there's also footage, and it's hard to find it. I don't think you can find it on YouTube no more. I could be wrong, but they took it down, where they found this boy, this guy, half of his face is gone. You heard about it? And you can see it in this footage.
I hear what they do. I haven't seen the footage, but I heard what they do.
So literally, it's like a precision cut from a laser. They take a piece or the whole face off.
And you're about to say there's always two floating together, right?
Yep, that's
Okay.
that's what you heard too, right?
Yeah, there's always two. It's always two. It's always a team of two, and they're always floating
They're
together.
floating on these craft, on these saucers.
all right, see-
And they're in armor. They're always in armor, black armor, and their eyes are almond shaped. So you know almonds, the way they're shaped, they're big almond shaped eyes.
Okay.
And they're big, they're tall. Well, except for the little girl's account, one's big, one's tall. I don't know if you heard about that.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. All right.
I'll get more into that. So they're always coming around. They're abducting people. They're cutting their face off, precision cut, laser cut. It's not messy, and they just leave their body there to die, which is bizarre. Whether it's in the Amazon, close by the homes, the tribes, they just leave the bodies there, which is weird in its own. They don't just take them; they just leave them. So that's the story. That's the story behind that. The mythology of that.
Yeah.
So they go to the authorities, right? This is 2023. Now, they've been told, Timothy Alberino's been told that this has been happening since the 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
So that remember that video I told you was in the 90s or the early 2000s, I believe. I could get that. I'm probably getting that wrong. That footage was from the early 2000s, the one I just talked about. So this has been a phenomenon that's been going on off and on. It hasn't been a consistent phenomenon, but supposedly a lot of the younger guys that are talking about, guys our age, talking to Timothy Alberino. Now, Timothy Alberino, he used to live out there in the Amazons. Obviously, like I said, he's like the modern day Indiana Jones. So he's been out there and he's heard the myth and the stories of this, right? But he's never looked into it really, until recently when this phenomenon was really getting hard and attacking, especially when this little girl got attacked. Anywho, so supposedly they told him that this has been going on from their dads from the 80s. So, which is weird because you don't hear it. You would think it's like a tribal thing that they've been attacked for centuries. No. This has been happening since the 80s.
Okay.
So just recent, if you think about it,
Yeah,
not too long ago.
It's not something that they're used to. It's like, oh man, what? And it became a thing.
Since the 80s. So, now with this little girl, this is what made Timothy Alberino go over there. He went over there last year because this phenomenon was going on. Now, a lot of the tribes people were saying that they would come in and they would just terrorize the village. And they weren't the only village. There was other talks of other villages nearby that were getting attacked too as well. And they would just terrorize these poor people. Sometimes they said that they would go run in their homes, run in their houses, And sometimes they would go and they would shake the wood on the house. They would just terrorize and scare the crap out of us. They would just like try to not really force their way in, because I'm pretty sure with the weapons and the technology, they could have gone in. But it's like they were teasing and having fun with these people.
Yeah.
So they would shake the homes, the wood and everything, and just rattle, just go back and forth and rattle the. Can you imagine how creepy that would be, dude? Just us in our homes being, little kids, and these things are just
these tall things
knocking on the window. Yeah. Punching the doors, can you imagine how ugly that would be, dude? That's literally what these things were doing to these people off and on.
Okay. And
then whenever they had the chance, they would abduct somebody, rip their face off, or even just a part of their face. Sometimes it would just be a quarter of the face. It'd be half of the face. Weird. Now, with this little girl, I don't remember her name. Timothy Alberino went over there. Now the authorities, they talked to the authorities. This became a big sensationalized story in 2023.
Okay.
They talked to the authorities. They even have some of the police stay there and look and guard, and they even, there was a faction of military, I believe the Navy went over there. The Peru Navy went over there and trained some of these guys. They got weapons, they got shotguns.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. I heard about that. Like they basically have, each village has their own bodyguards, basically roaming around at night.
Yep.
With
they're on they are on edge 24/7, especially at night, because the majority of the time during the day they'd get attacked, but majority of the time it was at night. It was overnight.
Yeah.
So they got trained. They trained them to be militant, and to guard their own village. And so that's what they were doing. So Timothy Alberino got word from it. I don't know if because remember he used to live out there. Yeah. So maybe he had a source that told him. So it took him a while to go out there. He had to renew his passports. He had to do a lot of safety checks and everything before he could head out over there. And plus, he's been busy here in the States doing his own thing, probably looking at other archaeological sites. So he couldn't just go over there. Mm-hmm. So it took him a while to get over there, right? So when he got over there, it was already October of 2024. A lot of the phenomenon was already over. So a lot of it stopped in August of that year. So he was a little late to the game. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be there sooner, but he was too late. But he still walked around. He interviewed a lot of people, especially this little girl. Now, when he said when they went to go interview him, they went to go meet her. You could tell she was by herself, very recluse, and you could tell she was traumatized. She suffered from PTSD. She went to the doctors and everything, and they diagnosed her with PTSD. Not only that, you could see a scar under her chin.
Yep.
There's a scar. There's even a picture of it. There's a nasty laser cut scar. The dad, her father, was like, he allowed them to interview her, and remember Timothy Alberino, he doesn't need a translator. He knows Spanish. He speaks Spanish. Mm-hmm. So they talked to her, and the dad was the one saying that we taken her to the doctors, psychiatrists. They diagnosed her with PTSD. And even Barino said you could even tell she was a very traumatized girl, 14 years old, right? So the story goes that she was in her backyard. Oh, my son's here. She was in her backyard, and we'll let him in if he needs to.
Yeah.
And she was back there, and all of a sudden these things came, these beings, right? These guys in armor came flying in. She says that one was tall, one was short. The shorter one spoke real good Spanish. The taller one, it was broken Spanish. So she claimed that it was a güerito. She felt like the way it talked was like a white man trying to speak Spanish. Okay, there's that. They abducted her. They took her. They didn't go too far behind her house. Somehow they were able to sedate her. So she couldn't yell. She couldn't scream. They were able to kind of put her in a vegetative state. They started to work on her neck. She, with all her might and all her strength, she was able to move and fight. And she was able to grab the tall one from the mask. Right before she could, she was just red. They were cutting her already, right?
Yeah.
That's what kind of woke her up.
Yeah.
She went up, she grabbed the mask, and she was going to try to rip it off. Before she could do that, they stopped. They freaked out. Because they noticed that she wasn't really that fully sedated.
Yeah.
And right before she could grab and move the mask, they freaked out and they took off.
So they gave her like a low dose, thinking that, because it's a child, maybe this dosage will give it to her. But
maybe.
It probably wasn't
Who knows?
enough.
Or maybe she just, by the grace of God, just found enough strength, the adrenaline, and found the strength to go up. And it's amazing to make her think, like, the first thing I'm going to do is reach for the mask.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It's not a full helmet, it's a mask. Because she was able to get her fingers in there.
Okay.
Bizarre, right?
Okay.
They take off. So the villager, she starts screaming to the highest way she could scream, just blood curly screaming. They come and they the villagers, her brother and her dad come with shotguns, and they go and they see them in the distance taking off into the sky.
Shoot.
They were too late, but they were able to save her. So she suffers from that. She suffers from PTSD. So that's a very scary story. I don't know if you heard anything else from that story.
I heard I don't know if it was the same story, but like I heard of one that a girl was getting attacked because she was gonna go for a piece of fruit. She wanted a piece of fruit. She left her. She basically left her her backyard area to get a piece of fruit.
Okay.
And when she got it,
she heard hovering and she saw wind, right?
Yeah, but when she turned around, because she was planning to go back home. As soon as she turned around to go back home, they were right in front of her.
Oh, see, yeah, this story, the one from the other little girl was she looked up and she saw them.
Yeah.
And then they took her.
Yeah. See, they didn't take her because she was still in the village because one of the villagers was there, and they were shooting at them and they escaped.
Oh wow! See, that's a different story.
That's another one that I heard.
Yeah, different girl then. Yeah, so there's that. The other story I want to tell you is, this was already happening, right? This, I believe, I don't know chronological order. I don't know if that happened first, and I don't know this other story I'm going to say happened first, but they already had the guns and everything. They were already fairly militant and trained.
Yeah.
Guy was out there. They bathe in the waters, in the Amazon, in the river, and all of a sudden they heard telecada. That's the name that they give in Peru, the telecada. Those are the skin peelers.
Okay.
They were yelling telecada. They heard women and everybody, so they got up and he put his robe around his waist and he went running. And when they went over there, they saw them standing there hovering. They started shooting. Well, he was able to outrun the other guys. He was faster than them, so he was chasing them and shooting. Well, one was able to get away, took off into the sky. The other one, when he shot him, is birdshot. So birdshot flares out.
Yeah.
And somehow he damaged the armor. So he was trying to take off, couldn't take off. Dude, he ran over there, tackled him, got him by the waist, tackled him. Right when he got him, he held on to him. The thing was able to turn around, pulled out like a laser, and knocked him out. Didn't hurt him. Knocked him out, and he became just unconscious.
And just boom.
He became unconscious. He
wow.
knocked out. So when he came to, his dad and his brother were waking him up, and he woke up, and they were long gone already. Those things, and he after that they took him to the doctor. He said to this day he has a lot of heart issues. So whatever it was, messed up his heart, damaged his heart.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, dude. These things really happen. Now, here's the interesting part. In 2024, before Albarino showed up, from June to the end of July, the United States military, Peru military, Brazil, they were all there for a training. So that makes you think, it's weird, man. Now, was this an attack, a military attack? But it's dumb because it's so bizarre. Why are they peeling faces and not abducting the bodies and using them? They're just leaving them there. What kind of psychopath just takes the face or part of a face? I don't think the military would do that. Number one. Number two, is it just some psychos from the military that are doing this and having fun with the technology? Number three, is it not even them? What if it's even a different faction of the military, the deeps, the black flags, or what is the doctor, what does he call them? There's a term he uses, the dark military, or the dark government.
Okay.
The dark government. What if it's them? Now, the funny thing, the weird part is now the military's there in the Amazon conducting this training, right?
Okay.
Now, could it be? In the mainstream media, I forgot this important part. The mainstream media was claiming that it was minors.
Yeah. Okay. That's supposedly there are minors that have jetpacks.
That have jetpacks.
Minors that have jetpacks.
What a stupid
and they're
narrative.
trying to stop people from getting the
gold, yeah.
that they're uncovering.
Yeah. So why are they peeling? I don't know. Stupid. So a lot of people.
Let's do Scooby Doo.
Yeah. A lot of people went for that theory, right? The mainstream narrative. And anyway, so like I said, the military was there. Now, either were they conducting and sending these people out there to do these weird attacks on these poor villagers, or was it a Predator type thing where they were out there to fight these beings, but they labeled it a training mission. You know the movie Predator, right? Out there, obviously.
So basically, they went down. Yeah. Well, it's like the whole point of Predator.
Keep talking. I'm
The
gonna do
whole
the
point
music.
of Predator was that they were there to take out a bunch of guerrillas that supposedly took out a military men. But then they get there, and it turns out a lot of the military were actually killed by something else. Henceforth, the Predator. That's the story. So in a way, they were actually sent there to kill that alien. But they didn't know. They didn't know what they were.
They were set up.
They're set up.
The government, yeah.
It's all bullshit. All of it.
Yeah, the military set them up. The military knew that thing was out there, but they set them up to say it was guerrillas or whatever was out there killing.
Well, they knew
them.
something was out there. They didn't know it was the Predator itself.
Right. Arnold Schwarzenegger and them.
They did think it was just gorillas, and then it turns out it was a lot more than that.
So that's the other theory is, were they out there to find these things that were doing these attacks, this phenomenon? You never know, man. So there's a lot of theories and a lot of what if, you know?
Dang.
It's just coincidental that the military's there.
See, I didn't hear about that
Yeah,
part.
man.
So when did the military go down there?
They were there for about a month, a little over a month.
What year, though?
2024.
So this was just like
Last year.
recently. I want to say recently because we're only like 6 months in this year.
Yeah.
So, damn.
Yeah, man. You can't make this stuff up.
You can't make that up because, like all that stuff, like the little girl that happened in 23 or 22, you said?
Last year or 2023.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it military? Is it interdimensional beings? The whole point is messy, though. The weird part of that, it's a very messy operation that they're doing. They're very messy. They're not clean with what they're doing. The way they abduct children and the way they abduct people is very messy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not slick. It's not covert. It's in the open. And sometimes they get caught. It's messy. It's very clumsy. It's very goofy. So who knows what it is? You guys out there, you determine, is it military? Is it interdimensional? Is it aliens?
Was it miners?
Was it miners with jetpacks? You guys come to your own theories.
Was it a story of Scooby-Doo?
What would you think it is? And I'll get to mine.
Honestly,
even Timothy Alberino's like, I don't know what it could be.
Okay, so here's what I think they are. How do we not know that this faction or whatever they were, maybe they were a group of aliens that, hey, let's just do our own thing. Let's be our own faction, getting away from, Okay, so the conspiracy is the government works with aliens. That's one of the conspiracies you ever heard of. How do we not know that one of those aliens says, I'm not going to work with the government. I'm going to do my own thing down here in the South. So they go down in South America, or Peru. Peru is part of South America, right? Yeah. They go down that area to wreak all the havoc they want. And so they're like, these guys are part of a faction. They're not with us. We need you to exterminate these people.
Okay, but here's the creepy part. What's up with the faces? Why the faces?
They're just they probably are mental. They're probably just
psychotic,
dark and psychotic.
That's the creepy part. Not only is it the abductions, the part is they abduct them, but then they leave the body, but they take the face off. That is creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Whether it's aliens or military, why? It just doesn't make sense.
And maybe that's why they were like, yeah, we need to take these guys out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to find out what they are. But anyways, that's all I have for tonight.
What do you think they were?
I'm sorry, I didn't get to my conclusion.
Where do you think they are?
I think these things are out there, just whether they're trying to have fun and they're just terrorizing these people just for the hell of it. I believe it's an interdimensional type of thing. I don't know if it's aliens. It's a phenomenon. And I believe the military was there to find these things. I believe it was a Predator movie. It was literally the Predator.
Yeah.
But in real life. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that's my theory, man. That's my conclusion. And that's all I have for tonight. I don't know if you got anything else.
That's about it, too.
All right, man. Like I said, comment, like, subscribe on our channel. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And we look forward to having you guys subscribe and watch our stuff. And we hope you enjoy. I've said that like 3 times already. Anyways, God bless. Peace.
Catch you next time.